Welcome back to the Cozy Corner. We're so glad that you're here.
We hope you are having a great Wednesday or whatever day you're listening to this on. We hope you are feeling great and doing great.
Thank you so much for joining. Today we have a very special guest with us. She's my sister. Woo! And we're so excited to hear her practices with self-care and her journey to finding self-love.
This is a topic we talk about a lot, but we think that it's more important to discuss it within an actual episode. And we're just going to kind of get right into it with introducing Erica. Erica, welcome to the show. And can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are?
Yeah, like Darlene said, I'm her little sister. I'm 23. I recently graduated college about a year and a half ago. And I'm just kind of hanging out, working, living.
What do you do? What are your passions with work?
So right now I work at a mortgage company up in San Antonio. I do work from home, so that's a huge plus. And I do a lot of like setting up things, and I've been starting to be able to work a little bit in the marketing side of it, so that's really exciting. So
because that's like mostly like what you like want to do, like forever and ever, is marketing, the whole department of that.
Yeah,
that is like such a skill.
I graduated with advertisement, so definitely would love to get into advertisement, but I'm not rushing my life, but hopefully we'll be able to do that soon.
That's so good that you're aware of that. Yeah, one step at a time.
Yeah, you got this. And so, Erica, what do you feel like? Oh, sorry.
That's good. Oh, yeah, her cozy question.
Okay, yeah, you have to like edit that. Okay.
No, it's okay. Yeah, well.
Thanks. So we have a question that we like to ask all of our guests here on the Cozy Corner. So here it is. Erica, where are you and what are you doing when you are most cozy? Sorry, I almost said comfy, but the word is cozy.
I think my most coziest part, it happens every day. My favorite time of the day is whenever I get to go to bed. That moment, right before bed, you have just gotten all ready for bed, you wash your face and everything, and you lay in bed and you just get to lay there.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll watch something, but I have a neon light in my room kind of thing, and that really has a mood lighting type thing. And yeah, that's my favorite part of the day, of just being able to be by myself with no thoughts, no anything, just laying there.
Oh yeah, I love
that. Is perfect. No, I love it. I know exactly what you mean, was right when you lay down after, for you're literally, for your job, you're constantly just your mind is being just hyper focused on something, and just to relax. And with that mood light, it's perfect.
Even better. Even better. I love that feeling after a hard, long day of work. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you take a nice shower and then you pull the sheets out and you just get in bed, and it's I just lay there for a couple of minutes.
It's literally the most perfect feeling. I get excited to go to do that every day.
Are you a person that likes weighted blankets or super cozy, or are you a person that likes just a sheet?
I really I have a pretty thick comforter, and I love that feeling. I've tried a weighted blanket, but I don't like feeling restricted.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of in the middle of a medium weight.
Also, question, do you wear socks when you go to bed?
No, I get way too hot.
Same. I was going to ask you if I feel if people can wear socks to bed, they're psychopaths. I'm just kidding. But it's I've tried to do the whole put lotion on your feet, wear your socks to bed.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, because it's supposed to moisturize your feet if you don't I was just doing a little I don't know, spa thing. And I was 10 minutes in, I was I have to take these socks off. I feel claustrophobic almost.
I can sleep in socks sometimes. Sorry, Erica.
You're freezing all the time.
Yeah, I know.
So I feel that makes sense. I get very hot at night. I have a fan that goes off, so I'd rather be my room freezing so I can actually use the blanket. I get really annoyed if my room's hot and I can't be under my blanket and feel all comfy or cozy.
Cozy. No, I am with you. I am like you. For sure.
Very nice. Okay, so it's very funny because before Erica came on, Gabby and I were like chit-chatting a little bit, catching up, going over the script also. And as soon as we started talking, she's like, okay, I'm gonna put on my like little eye. What are they called? Like
30 minutes ago, I had little under eye mask things. So I was like, this is part of my self-care for the day. But then they like were all dried up basically before Erica came on. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna that would look a little too take them right off before they fall off.
It was a good idea. It would have been perfect for
I am in my pajamas, my jungle Walmart pajamas that are really cozy.
They don't even look like PJs. I thought it was like a really cute blouse.
It's the jungle collection.
So it's very cute.
Yeah,
okay, I should let everyone know. So right now it is October 2021 and like jungle is in. If I go to HEB, Walmart, like stationery, like little PJs, like jungle vibe, which is like super random, but like I obviously am a customer of the jungle pajamas.
So what we're going to talk about today with Erica is self-care and self-love. Those are two different things, but I believe that they go hand in hand.
Self-care is taking the time to set aside moments to do things that bring you joy. According to everydayhealth.com, self-care means taking care of yourself so that you can be healthy, you can be well, you can do your job, you can help and care for others, and you can do all the things you need to do and want to accomplish within the day.
It's taking care of all aspects in your life, emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, so that you're able to do your work and give your best. But self-love, according to the everygirl.com, is about cultivating gratitude and acceptance toward yourself, physically and emotionally. It means that you truly accept yourself. I remember listening to another podcast that mentioned that everybody already loves themselves because we are always doing the things that we love, doing things for ourselves, kind of like in a selfish term, I guess, but I don't think it's that simple. What about you? What are your thoughts about these two ideas, self-care and self-love? Erica, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think self-care is kind of how you explain, just like kind of taking time for yourself and actually like making sure that you're okay, because if you're not okay, you can't give your all to other people. And I think that's where a lot of people are misconstrued with that, is that like they want to help all people like all the time, but they never put any energy into themselves. And I know I've definitely had that issue in the past. So like that's what I think of self-care, is just like making sure you're good so you can help others. And then self-love, I mean, it's a journey. You're never gonna like 100% love yourself all the time. Everyone's gonna have their off days and stuff, but it's a journey that you can start, and it kind of goes into self-care. It's like making sure you're okay, making sure you're liking who you are and what you're putting out to the world, and if you truly are loving yourself, you can also be able to help others more. Like I personally, my whole thing is just kind of, you need to put into yourself before putting into others. Like, I know sometimes people think that's selfish, but it's okay to be a little selfish.
For sure. I love that. So tell us a little bit about your self-care practices and like maybe how that was even born. Like what age were you when you were kind of like noticing that lacking, and what did you do about it?
Yeah, I think it really started, it was super recent of when I've actually like really noticed I was not taking care of myself. I wasn't happy with like what I was doing, basically. I think right after I graduated, I just came home. My whole life got flipped upside down and everything. And I finally had the time where my life finally slowed down. I know college was the best time of my life, but it was so busy. I never had free time. It was insane. And I was not taking care of myself. I was not sleeping well. I never like washed my face. It was just, I wasn't thinking about what I was eating. I wasn't thinking about like working out or anything. I wasn't doing
just
anything
like distracted
for myself. Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't do anything for myself. I was always just go, go, go doing others. So whenever I like came home, the pandemic hit, came home, my life slowed down so much. It was insane of the 180. I think about my life now and then how it is, how it was. And it's like if I would have just all of a sudden, like you just stop on a break in a car and it slowed down so much, and it's insane how much free time I have now. So that's when I really started getting into, I think it started with, it definitely started with skincare. So I have never been one to wash my face every day. I've never been one to look up products and everything. But one day I just started focusing on like my skincare, and I was like, oh, like this is something I would do, like face masks at night, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. And it kind of went into, okay, so I like doing that for myself, so I did the skincare, and then I got really into hair care. I know I talk to Darlene and Sabrina all the time about my new hair products that I get. And so yeah, I got really into the hair care, and I was like, now my hair is like probably the most healthy, even if it is bleached, like it is still probably the most healthy it's ever been. And yeah, I got really into that, and I started maybe going to bed at a better time. I didn't feel I got like a good amount of sleep where I wasn't dying every day. And just recently I have started cooking every night, and I've always been really into cooking. Like I love Food Network, and I'm super obsessed with like celebrity chefs like Guy Fieri and Gordon Ramsay, and I love watching cooking. So I've always been really into it. I just never, I guess, knew what to do and everything. So I bought like HelloFresh, and that's kind of like my thing right now, is just being able to cook every night is really good, and like actually feeling like I'm eating like healthier and like a little bit better. Like I've been trying to focus on that, and just yeah, so those are kind of just like a few things that I've been doing. And then a lot of like, I do a lot of like, I guess, reflecting at night. Like I said, whenever I get into bed and I just have like no thoughts, I'll literally just like lay there sometimes, and I think I do have like a journal that I write in, kind of just getting all my thoughts out, and really focusing on my mental health, and trying not to be as like cluttered in life, and like really seeing how I can grow and how I can be a better person, and like focus on just kind of reaching the goals that I do want to reach in life. Right now I feel sometimes I feel stuck and that's never a good feeling. So those days I feel stuck, I definitely write out and be like, okay, like just because you're not in the place you want to be, I think I want to rush it. But I don't know, focusing on mental health has been a huge thing in the past 3-4 years. And I've definitely completely changed with that. So yeah, I was like, that's a few things I guess that I've done.
No, it's amazing. That's like a whole new, I mean, like that's a whole lifestyle that you have curated for yourself. And do you use like because I'm so curious about like your routine now. Do you use like a calm app, or do you use like soundscapes to go to bed? Or are you kind of more just like lights out, I'm out?
No, yeah. So I fall asleep pretty quickly. So
Okay.
Some nights, I don't really do. I've realized like I did try meditation for a little bit. My friend, he told me about it, and so I tried it. I will say I just fall asleep too easily. And
you're like, listen, I'm cozy. I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So like after journaling, that's kind of like the last thing that you like sign off for the day.
Yeah, I was like, either I'll write it down, or sometimes I even just write it in my notes app, because I'm like, I don't feel like writing on a pen, so I'll just write it on my notes app.
Like you're already with your phone, probably just like winding down. That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's easier, especially when you're in bed too.
Exactly. So yeah, that's always been, I've always liked journaling, but I think I finally like have a groove with it.
I'm a little envious of that. I am inspired by people that journal. I think it's so cool that you're like documenting real-time thoughts and you can like look back years later. But my sister got me a journal back when I was 16 and I still have the journal not
Are you
filled out yet.
serious,
Yeah.
Gabby?
Like
Oh my
I'll just
gosh.
do like, so it's been 3 years. So this is what's kind of happened. This is like what I remember. So my journal, like my diary, like
That's why I'm the writer,
decades.
right?
Yes, that's why Darlene's the writer. But
Oh my gosh.
that's awesome,
That's
Erica.
amazing.
Wow. Honestly, like as you were just like being vulnerable with us, which thank you so much. I'm just like recognizing like when I first met you, you were in
Maybe
single
like
digits,
5 years old.
like
Yeah, I was
so
young.
crazy. And I just feel like I want to adopt you and like put you close to my bosom and just be your mother and sister. And just like, oh my God, you have grown into this beautiful woman. And I'm just so happy to like be experiencing like your narrative to us. Like this is so awesome. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's like really cool. It's made me really reflective of like what I was like when I was 23. Not that I'm like saying I'm so much older, we're only 5 years apart, but like
yeah.
Because I've known
lifetime.
you. Yeah, because I've known you most of my life, you were like
She was a little sister.
in grade school. 5 years is like longer apart.
It's a lot.
Now that we're like all adults.
We're like in 10th grade and she's just in 5th grade, like still elementary school. So definitely, Erica, I'm so proud of you. It's so like really, I don't know, like we're here as I've always been your older sister. So it's been so nice that lately we've become so close and you've become like actually my best friend, I could say. Well, Gabby too, but you know.
No, of course.
Yes.
But I'm so proud, and like Gabby said, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your story with us, and thank you for being with us today.
I think we're best friends. I
Yeah,
told
I think
Mommy
so.
we're best friends.
She's like,
I said, I think both of my sisters are some of my best friends. So
yeah, that's the way
it's really fun to have that dynamic.
Of course. Yeah. So Gabby, what about you and self-care? Like what are some practices that you have?
So it's really funny. So I like partially wanted to kind of wait to see what you were going to say for your experiences, but I did write mine. And it's funny because literally mine is all about skincare. Like that was the driving point for me. And it was literally, Erica, the same age as you are now. Like I talk about how like in undergrad, like so for me in undergrad, I was an RA. So I lived in dorm room my like whole undergrad. Mm-hmm. So I never really had like, I desired self-care. I like, started looking up on YouTube and like how these other girls were like, had the time and space to do that. But I just feel like I was way too busy like you. And I like lived in a dorm room. So like having a spa day was like not like prioritized like within my schedule. But when I moved, basically after I graduated undergrad, I got into a house with some roommates and, I felt like this grown up and obviously like I'm not president of the one club and I'm not going to this club. Like I feel like I was really into extracurricular activities in undergrad. So yeah, my life slowed down a lot, even though I was still in grad school, but like it was more obviously specific to just like one thing. So I just was like, oh my God, I have time to like, do a bath bomb. Oh, and then I discovered Lush, the store Lush, which like, that was like the pairing of like my desire to have self-care, but like, again, I wasn't like aware of products, but when I found Lush, because there was a storefront in Miami, I was like, oh my gosh. So a lot of my paychecks from the cafe job I was working like went to there, but like, I don't regret it because I like got to know about like just how to feel relaxed when I'm like, still living life. Like I want to be able to be my best in school, my best socially, wherever I'm at. And to know that I have like those couple days or one day a week where I'm like doing myself a bath bomb, getting some face masks, doing my serums, like all that. So I basically like relate totally to like what your story is. And I'm just like, wow, that's so cool. Cause I feel like some people maybe like, I mean, obviously so many people have different narratives, but it's cool with that. Like we're both like, yeah, skincare and then products. And like now for me, a lot of my friends are like Gabby and her skincare. Like they kind of make fun of me, but in a loving way, because now I'm like, do you want a spa party? You want to come over and I can do facial masks with you? And they're like, actually, yeah, I want that. Because, you know, I think for some people, maybe it's like, there's so many products now and like, what is what? And I'm like, okay, well, let me be your like professional at this. So it's been kind of like a fun moment, like how you were saying with your sisters, like you tell your sisters like what products you use. I do that with my sister all the time, and she's like, okay, Gabby, tell me, what do you use, this and that? And I'm like, I love it, because it's like it's turned into almost like a passion hobby, you know.
Yeah.
But
getting into skincare is a little daunting, so
yeah. So that's kind of like a lot of my like self-care story. And then obviously now like having like my life again changed significantly, like so many people after the pandemic. And like for me, again, same, I've shared on the Cozy Corner, like my passion for like movement and different types of movement that make me feel good. I have tried cooking, but I have passed the torch to Brett because I enjoy watching him cook and being a supportive character. And my goals in the future are to like organically bake like whole, you know, like whole organicness. Like I want to be this like holistic princess. That's like the goal. And it'll be there one day, but no,
you'll get there.
I'll get there. And like, I love how you said even before, like, I don't want to rush it. Like I am where I'm at. And that is like literally what we kind of talked about like last episode about like being just like accepting yourself of where you're at. Like everything is temporary, like situationally, and like all you have is yourself to like have the rest of your life. So shout out to you for just like being aware.
You know, guys, I find it kind of interesting because there's this saying when I would go to church camp as a kid that said, God first, others second, I'm third. So that was kind of just like the saying that we were, the motto that we are third, right? Which of course makes sense because in Matthew and from the Bible, Matthew chapter 22, he says, you shall love your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. And you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Okay. So, but to me, that's like your neighbor as yourself is like even, right? So anyway, but there's another saying that we always hear that surrounds on the topic of self-care is if you don't take the time to practice self-care techniques and rejuvenate yourself, then you wouldn't be able to take care of others, which is exactly what Erica said at the beginning. So it's kind of like, I don't know, contradictory, like those two. That's what comes to my mind when I think of self-care, right? It's just a thought. But something that's super interesting that I think about all the time too is like, whenever you think of self-care, and even whenever you type self-care in like an Instagram sticker to find a sticker, it's all about getting your nails done, getting your hair done, putting on masks, taking care of or getting a massage, being in the bathtub, things like that. But for me, I feel like that self-care is all of those things, but also so much more. It's going on a walk every day or every evening to move your body. It's waking up a little bit earlier to get some time to read, like a self-improvement book. Or for me, I like to read my Bible and I like to journal. It's relaxing in bed or on the couch after a long day of work, catching up on your favorite TV show. It's taking the time to do your favorite hobby. For example, my husband's favorite hobby is to be in the garden. Or for me, my favorite hobby is to write. So journaling again. It's putting the right foods into your body, the ones that fuel you, but not the ones that bring you down. It's also going to the dentist, going to the doctor when you need to. All of those things, for me, I feel is self-care, right? And although I honestly haven't been the best at taking care of myself, I am trying to improve and get better. And my story is completely different from Erica's and from Gabby's, how you guys said that your stories align. I didn't start like thinking about taking care of myself until maybe the past couple of years, in the sense that like I mentioned in the last podcast, like with my skin, because as I mentioned before, I don't have the best skin, or I grew up having acne. But even like when I was younger, I didn't, even though I had acne and I didn't like it, I didn't care for it.
Like prior, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't prioritize it. I didn't take care of it. And so it was like, yeah, I was sad that I had it, but I didn't do anything about it. And so recently, I have been taking care of my face, taking care of what I put in my body. I've always been a person that likes to exercise. So that is one thing that I always like worried about. But, you know, that's hard too. But I think, like I mentioned, going on a walk for 30 minutes, that's like the simplest thing that you can do to um to take care of yourself, to take care of your body, because this is the body that God has given you. And it's not even about looking good. It's about feeling good and taking care of your organs, because it's so like interesting how people that they don't start taking care of themselves until they get sick.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to take care of yourself right now when you're healthy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just, I'm like
Do
going
you,
on
so
a
you said
tangent.
like, no, like you said, like the past, 2 years. So in my mind, it's like, do you feel like with the slowdown of the pandemic, you felt
Yes.
like that much more grateful for being alive and like having a body that's able body and like functioning the way it should function? Was that kind of a
Definitely.
part of it?
Definitely. And
Yeah.
also, obviously, it's because I had all the time on my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like so many people can relate to that. But now that I'm more I'm still working from home, but I am more busy with my new job, and I'm doing the podcast with Gabby, and we're working on our nonprofit. So I feel like I'm back to my normal work schedule, but I am prioritizing those moments to take care of myself, to take care of my body. And I think that's why self-care is so important, because if you're healthy, then you're able to give your 100%, which other people deserve, which, like in the Bible says, taking care of our neighbors just as much as we take care of ourselves. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I like the other options you put out there too.
yeah, that's what I feel that's what I think self-care is.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
But I think that able to get to the point of loving yourself fully, which is the second part of this, self-love, I think able to get to that, you have to take those steps in practicing self-care, right? If you love yourself, you're going to want to take care of your well-being. So like I mentioned, I love myself, so I want to take care of my skin. I want to take care of my body. I want to eat healthy. I want to exercise for my love. And by doing that, you are expressing self-love, right? So I kind of see a correlation with self-love and finding confidence in your own skin, which was our topic from last week. So Erica, I'd really love to hear what has been your journey, like finding self-love.
Yeah. I mean, I think my journey is forever, and I think I really got into it kind of in college. I think very normal for people when you're younger in middle school and high school not to really love who you are and having tons of insecurities and everything. And I had a whole added layer of having two great sisters, but always being compared to my two great sisters. So yeah, I think when I went to college, I finally was like, oh, like I can be my own person, blah, 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 blah. And then I realized like, oh, like I don't really like my own person. And I was like, and so I think I really started working on myself. I would say it really came around sophomore year of college. I was probably at my lowest of lows. Sorry, I'm gonna cry.
No, we cry on this podcast. That is totally okay.
Yeah, I was like, sorry, when I talk about this, I always cry because I think about where I was in my mental health and everything, and kind of looking back. And so yeah, I would say my sophomore year of college was the hardest year of my life.
Yeah, take your time.
Love you, Erica.
Sorry, I didn't think I'd cry. It's so bad. But yeah, it was just a lot of my own mental things, and I would get really bad anxiety attacks so I suffered from really bad anxiety that year. I didn't really know, and it was really new for me. So I ended up, I had a friend, and we ended up, he took me to the therapist on campus. So I started going to therapy that year. It was really, really hard. And then that summer came right after my sophomore year. I ended up breaking up with my boyfriend, and he was also my best friend. And so that was like a huge thing too. So yeah, I think my biggest, and then I actually went to Guatemala to visit Darlene. I think I've told Darlene a little bit about it. It's just that changed my entire life with my self-love thing. I think it wasn't even about seeing all the beautiful places in Guatemala. Obviously that was amazing. I loved traveling and going all there. It was literally just my favorite thing was going to her school that she worked at the time, that Edwin still works at, and just meeting all the kids there. I think they changed my life, and they changed my heart and everything.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't. No,
Don't be sorry.
Don't apologize.
We're unapologetic here.
Falling apart.
No, I feel like I could cry. I'm
yeah.
Wow.
It's beautiful, Erica.
But something about it, and something about not being able to speak really the same language with the kids, but still feeling so loved and so accepted and so everything, and getting to see my sister and her husband do all of that every single day. I was it was insane. I came back a whole new person. I felt loved, and I felt inspired, and I was okay, if I want to keep this, I was I need to work on my mental abilities. I think I was my mental health was a piece of glass shattered on the ground. It was so bad. And I think throughout the years, I've been able to pick up those shattered pieces and put it together like a beautiful art painting. And so I came back. I was super sad for a month, because obviously you come back from that and you're oh, now you're in America. And I was oh, I'm back to my normal life. But yeah, after that, I had started really diving in deep with myself. That's actually that's definitely where the journaling started. Diving in deep with myself, diving in, looking at myself, telling myself, for I think 3 to 4 months, I would wake up every morning and I would look at myself in the mirror, and I would tell myself affirmations. I had seen a YouTuber I follow. They were oh, that helped me really change my mindset. And I was oh, maybe that will help me.
Yeah.
And so I would look in the mirror, and I'd be today I like my hair, I love my eyes, and I think I'm a kind person. And I would just say little things, different things every day. So I would really strive to change my mindset of oh, you're not a bad person. You're just having bad days. Trying to really be okay. So yeah, as time went on, obviously, I think a lot of it, I know a lot, my insecurities were still there, but and I've always struggled with my weight and everything, and I've always never loved where I've been at, but it's always been hard for me to figure out how to come to terms. I can't love myself for how I want to be. I have to love myself for how I am.
Wow.
And that was my hardest thing to get over.
Yes.
But yeah, I think after that, I really, really, really tried the hardest I could to just look at myself and just be kinder to who I am. Because at the end of the day, now where I'm at in life, I can truly look in the mirror and say I like who I am. I love how I treat my friends. I love how I do things. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I don't love some things. Like sometimes I can be rude, and it just comes off, and I'm like, oh dang. But I like really strive. But I actually love, and I love how I am. I love my body. I love how I look. I like, yes, I think I'm still trying to figure out the whole weight loss thing, but like I can finally look in and I don't put on clothes and just feel and
Right.
all of my friends have told me there's like a huge difference of just who I am. I finally like feel confident in who I am, and I feel confident in my abilities. And I feel like my mental health has never been better. There's just been a lot of like figuring all that out.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think my journey has been insane. I like to look back on it, and I'm always like, I'm so proud of where I've been. I think it's a lot of like mental toughness as well. I focused a lot on trying to love my like who I was as a person. Not really. I know a lot of people with self-love body are really like body positivity, like, and they're like, you need to love your body. But I'm like, okay, yes, but I think I focused heavily on my mind first, and loving my body just came with that. Because obviously my body does amazing things. I am healthy. I can do things. Allows
Yeah.
me to go do whatever, like,
Mhm.
but so yeah, my journey's been definitely really rough. Obviously, I still get
No,
very emotional
no,
talking about that time in
it's
my life.
honestly beautiful seeing other humans
Inspiring.
be vulnerable.
Mhm.
I just want to like touch, you've said such magical things, honestly, this whole time. But when you were saying like you focus more on the mental because the body love will follow, because like our bodies will change. Your body is going to change when you get older, when, we are in our 50s and 60s. Like, can you imagine how like, yeah, like our parents' generation, like your bodies, women, we are so beautiful creatures, like it's gonna change. So I love how you are so aware of like your mental health is more important, because that's just it's just fact. So
It's hard.
no, it is
Yeah.
super hard, but wow.
Erica,
Yeah.
I know that everything you said is going to touch so many people.
I
So
believe that too.
we're going to share this podcast to all of our friends and all of our followers.
Yes,
And
Yeah.
it's going to be like top, because everything you said is going to touch people. It touched me. I love
Me
you.
too.
And
Wow.
I'm so proud of the person that you're becoming, that you have become. And
Thank you.
I love you. So thank you.
I love you too.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm like honestly speechless. Like I
We're
don't even know what to
speechless.
say. I was like on that emotional like train with you. Like you were just
Mhm.
very
yeah.
yeah.
We felt it. We felt it.
I'm
Self-love,
glad.
man. Self-love is so tricky, especially within the times of like being from teenager to like undergrad, with today's like society of just like expectations and
Yeah.
realities. And yeah, it's, I think for so many women and men out there, like getting help with therapy. When you were bringing up your anxiety attacks, I recently, last year, I started getting panic attacks, and it was a physical panic attack. Like it was like I was shaking, and I think I've said it, and it's so scary when you're not in control of that.
Yeah.
It is one of the most terrifying things. So when you said that, I just want to like give you a big hug, because like it actually, I randomly still get panic attacks. And like, I'm also in therapy currently, just being like, because I just think talk therapy is just like a thing for me, but like super wild. It's super like, until I get through that is always just
Yeah.
an obstacle.
I think my first like panic attack or like anxiety attack or whatever, it was terrifying. I had no idea. I had never felt like this before. And I think it was even scarier because I was living away from home.
Yeah.
I had no family. I had my friends, but I was not very in touch with my emotions and how to tell people like how I was feeling and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I would just, I like had the attack in the middle. It was like at the end of mass one day. so I was in the middle of mass. I was helping usher, and I just had to leave. It was so scary. And I had just told my friends that I was like, oh, I just felt sick.
Right.
But really I didn't know how to tell someone that. It was like really weird to me, but I've definitely surrounded myself with like friends that help me through that. So
Like understand and don't think it's weird. I
Yeah.
really am super annoyed with people that are still like weirded out, or they like, I mean, yes, you don't have to understand what I'm going through if you've never had a panic attack, but like have like just
have empathy.
Like it's not weird. It's very normal. I think a lot more people have panic attacks and they don't talk about it because they're like, I don't want to be the weird one that has panic attacks. And it's like, listen, let's normalize this.
Definitely.
I feel like I didn't know what it was at first.
That's what I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you, like,
girl, I thought I had COVID. I went to the emergency room because I was like, I have COVID. This is a COVID symptom.
Like,
and they were
COVID
like,
now.
Most definitely not. You're having a panic attack. And I was like, what? I don't get
like,
panic
what's
attacks.
That?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I had always been like, before then, I think I'd always been like, oh, like my mental health, perfect. Like I was always
Likewise.
like, I think I was in high school, I was always like, no, I'm too happy to have I'm too happy like at everything. And
but
I was like,
because you were living for others, you were happy for others. And yeah, no, I get that because I am the same way. I feel like me and Erica are twins. I'm calling it now. No, I feel like honestly, like your whole journey, I like relate to that as well, self-love. And more so what I was just gonna like add at like my experience with self-love, like being now in my probably like my mid, so I'm obviously 28, I'm in my late 20s, but
you're not in your mid 20s.
Not in my mid 20s anymore. But it's okay. So this thing I struggled with was in my early 20s, like I personally was not interested in like being hooked up with the like relationship. But in my mid 20s, I was like, okay, like I've been waiting, like I want time now to like be with someone, right? I want to share life. But I struggled with big time with like being alone versus being lonely. And like that really started to like find darkness in my mind of like, I'm unlovable. And then there's like that whole streamline of things that can go really cut deep into my body image. And then there's like, you know, socially, am I not like cool enough or like whatever. And like, it would happen in moments where literally I was like doing a self-care. And then those thoughts would disrupt my joyfulness of like having a spa Gabby day. Cause then I was like, wait, I'm doing this alone. Is that bad? And then I started second guessing like who I am and my self-love for myself. And so that's been something that's like really been a big like life changer for me, is like loving that, like, cause now, you know, I'm with Brett and I still am like, babe, I need my spa showers, my spa days, because like being with myself, like I love myself. Like my mind is like the most important thing of like me living and breathe, like it's who I am. Right. So finding like grace and like gratitude with being alone is powerful. And like the loneliness comes with fear. But being alone is like this like superpower that I think like all women and men should like it comes with like learning, I guess. If some people are very like, oh, I've always like had always someone with me and like being alone's like hard, but it's like be alone. It's like time to be introspective. Like that's how we grow. Like that's how you really probably figured out like what you needed to like be happier in life and like love yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to like add that little experience that I've been recently, the past like few years, have been like trying to. And like, like you even said earlier, like no one's perfect. We still have bad days where we're like, womp womp, like this day kind of sucked. But then it's like, okay, it was just a day and everyone else has bad days too. So like, it's normal.
Yeah. I was like, definitely be nice to yourself. That's like the biggest thing. It's just being nice to yourself.
Being kind to yourself.
I know. Yeah. I love that quote.
Talking to yourself, telling yourself that you are worthy and that you can do the things that you want to do because right, because we love ourselves. And I mean, I'm saying it as if like I'm the expert. I think that you two are like so much, I guess, aware. aware. Is
Awareness.
that the word?
I don't know. I feel like I've
like-
been told that I'm very aware.
Yeah,
aware
I feel
that you
Erica
love
holds
yourself,
Yeah, I
like,
was like, I've
holds
been told
that.
I'm self-aware now.
Self-aware. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Of
very
your love.
self-aware.
of your love for yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like, okay, so there's like levels of self-love. I feel like you guys are like up here and I'm like a little bit.
It's like the consciousness of like, yeah, which is self-awareness. Yeah. That's all the same. We're all on the same
Everything-
page.
I think, yeah, like you guys mentioned, well, with anything in life, it's a roller coaster, I feel.
Yeah.
And for me in my journey with self-love, I feel like I got married young, right? And before I was like going into college, of course, during this time, I had never had a boyfriend, and I was like, I really want a boyfriend. Blah, blah, blah. I want to be with
Mhm.
somebody.
Right.
But it wasn't until I took the time for myself and I fell in love with myself, is what I like to say, is when I found my husband. So that's one thing. But like I mentioned, it's a roller coaster. So I'm kind of like on the downhill of like self-love in this moment in my life, because I don't know. It's a journey that you have to constantly work on. And so
Yeah.
today, actually, I saw a video. We had a meeting at work and they showed us a video. And it's so crazy how the video was about self-love. And in the video, the first girl, okay, so there's just like, there's two girls, right? They're at the library. And one girl has really short hair. She has like a hat. And the girl next to her has like really beautiful blonde, curly, long hair. And the girl with the hat, she's like thinking in her head and she's like, oh man, if I had hair like that, then I wouldn't have to worry about like getting up in the morning and like trying to style myself or like wear hats or things like that. So she's like thinking in her head about this girl next to her. Then there's this other scene with these two men. They're at the gym, or they're like in the locker from the gym. And this guy has acne. He has like a lot of pimples on his face. And the other guy comes in with the beard and he's like, oh man, if I didn't have all these pimples on my face like that guy, if I had a beard, maybe Priscilla would notice me, something like a girl that he liked, right? Then there was another scene that well, actually I don't oh yeah, they're at a clothing store, two women, and there's like a girl who's kind of curvy and she's thinking in her head about another girl that she's like very thin and she has beautiful brown hair and she has like a lot of makeup. She looks beautiful. And so she's like, I bet you that girl's an actress. If I had like a beautiful body like her, then blah, 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 like I would be able to do this. So it was that. So when I was watching that, I was like getting a little like teary-eyed in my face because like I do that all the time, like with random people that I don't even know.
Girl,
like,
same.
I'm like,
Yeah.
if I had hair like that, or, you know, like I wish that I was as beautiful as her, or I wish my teeth were as straight as her, whatever. But then the video continued and it's the same two girls, but it's switched. So the girl with the long
other
blonde
girl,
hair, the girl with the long blonde hair, she's like looking at the girl with the short hair, but at her nails, how her nails are so perfect. She's like, oh my gosh, I love her nails. If I had nails like that. And so it just goes through the other story and they're comparing with the other person. Like, it's just so insane. I like felt like crying after watching that video because it's so real. It's so real that we do that to ourselves every single day, where if we just took the time to like love ourselves and the things that we do have and appreciative of the things that we do have, then that is self-love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that once we gain that self-love, that we're going to stop comparing ourselves to others and we're going to stop wanting what other people have. I think that's whenever we find our true, like whenever we truly, truly find self-love, when we truly, truly love ourselves. So we know that it's all a journey. But yeah, that's some of my thoughts on self-love. I'm still trying to get to where you guys are, but thanks for sharing. Love y'all so much.
Of course, we love you. And we know that everyone is at a different stage in their life when it comes to self-care and especially self-love. But I think we've mentioned some really great ideas and strategies that hopefully one of you listeners can relate to and grab onto and put it close to your heart, put it close to your mind, and just kind of know that like you are supposed to be where you're meant to be where you are now. And like you with your own self, no one else, like you can get to where you want to be with self-love and like with self-care. And we all three believe in you, whoever's
Of
listening.
course. Yes. We
Yes.
Erica, it's been so fun and so nice to have you here on the podcast. I know everything that you said, people are going to definitely relate to.
Definitely.
And thank you for being inspiring to those and to us. To me, Gabby, you have inspired us in your words. So thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your story. I don't know if you have any final thoughts or ideas that you'd like to share with the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, just always kind of just work on yourself. Never stop working on yourself, because the moment you do, then you'll go into a pit and it's never fun. So yeah, just
Good.
do things for you.
Yes, you do you, mama. And where can you tell our listeners where they can find you on Instagram?
Yeah, it's just Erica Lee 14.
Erica Lee 14. That is Erica with a C, not a K.
Lealea for Lee.
Lea. Oh, see, I would have thought it was Lee. Well, Darlene will definitely tag you at the bottom of this.
I will. I'll do
I
it.
was like, Lee spelled a little weird.
Lee spelled like, because yeah, I would think it's Leah.
Lee is spelled like Leah.
Yeah, without the H.
Yeah, and then just 14 because that's a cool number.
That is a cool number. I love that. Okay, guys. So for our intention this week, we want you to get out of your comfort zone and practice self-care by doing something you've never done, but have always wanted to.
For example, for me, it wasn't until I got married and was gifted face masks, which I think, Gabby, you're the one that gave me the face masks. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
But, like I mentioned earlier, I never like really cared to take care of my face. But like when Gabby gave me those, well, to be honest with you, I didn't start using the face mask until maybe a couple of years.
All good. Get the gift they kept on giving.
I have to be honest. No, but now that when I started wearing the face masks, I feel so good. It's like just self-care, taking care of yourself, being at night, relaxing, watching a TV, having that thing on your face, it feels so good. And then the next day it's even better. So anyway, do something that you have never done before to take care of yourself.
Thank you all for listening to the Cozy Corner today.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode and have enjoyed hearing new perspectives from our guests as well.
You can find us on Instagram at the.cozycornerpod or send us an email at thecozycornerpod@gmail.com to send us suggestions or messages about what you've heard today or what you think.
And remember that you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we're even on YouTube.
Have a beautiful week, y'all. God bless. Take care and adios, amigos.
Adios.